rewarding thing about being a loyal attendee of a film festival is that you sometimes get to see artists evolve. Benjamin Howard is a San Diego filmmaker who's been screening his short films at FilmOut since 2017. And this year, his debut feature, Riley, will close the festival on Sunday.
We apologize for nothing!
So if you had told me back then, like, hey, you're going to make a feature and it's going to close out the festival several years from now, I wouldn't have believed you. But here we are, and coming back home to San Diego, where we filmed, where I grew up. We shot a scene right outside of the Museum of Photographic Arts, which is where we're screening the film. In so many ways, it's very serendipitous and really special.
This year, I'm especially excited by the fact that programmer Michael McQuiggan has tapped into his love of horror to take advantage of the festival overlapping Friday the 13th and prompting him to screen an entire night of queer horror. The evening's first film, The Judgment, is about a man who returns to his Egyptian home and has to face ghosts from his past, as well as possible witchcraft intended to punish him for his gay lifestyle.
Even if it is witchcraft, you don't really believe in it, do you?
The film alludes to supernatural elements, but the horror is rooted in the real world and real prejudices. Next up in the queer horror lineup is Witchy Ways, brewed by Jane Clark, who drew inspiration from Practical Magic. And the night concludes with There's a Zombie Outside, from Trauma alum Michael Verratti. FilmOut runs through Sunday at the Museum of Photographic Arts, with plenty of film choices to tempt you. And speaking of tempting choices, a very different Friday the 13th option will be served up by Chef Philip Esteban for the San Diego Filipino Film Festival. His White Rice Bodega restaurant will be catering Magic Hour, a tasty prelude to the festival where attendees will get to sample Filipino food and get a preview of the film lineup.
We've been in partnership with White Rice with Chef Phil since day one, since we started the San Diego Filipino Film Festival. And food is very important for us because we share stories when we eat. For us, food is a cultural representation.
And it represents the diversity within that culture. Esteban points to how even a staple of Filipino food like adobo reflects variety within the community.
A lot of people think even just adobo as well is chicken adobo and or pork. But technically there's 152 ways to make adobo. But there are just so many different areas and so many different regions that make them in so many different styles.
And that just means having many unique flavor variations to choose from, just like with the cinematic offerings you have this weekend. Beth Accomando, KPBS News.